Hello, journal writer. Well, and we're in Fair Oaks today. Most days. That's where I live. Just outside of California's capital. And the weather today is over 100 degrees, fairly dry. I got a lot of water for a short ride. Well, the route we're going to do today is wander through some neighborhoods. To be honest, I believe we've left Fair Oaks and we're now in Orangevale. Before we're done, we're going to be in Folsom. And what I'm going to do is spend probably the first half of the ride wandering through neighborhoods, chatting about a topic, and then we'll hit some dirt. Imagine the conversation will die off while I bomb down some trails. Hopefully you'll stick through the whole episode. Please subscribe if you enjoy this format. I'm going to keep it up as much as I can, hopefully multiple times a week. And yeah, questions. Happy to answer questions. Oh, this is the worst part on a hot day. You really don't want to sit here at an intersection. Sun baking on you. Okay. Topic. So we're going to talk about today something that's kind of in the news lately. Eating sugar. I was like any other kid, ate sugar all the time, sodas, donuts. I didn't even think twice about it then. Interestingly enough, I grew up with allergies to dairy and other foods, and yet sugar, no, didn't seem to. No doctor ever pointed out I had a sugar allergy, so I never was required to stop eating sugar. And as I got older, I started realizing, well, maybe I should eat more healthy, and so I started eating natural sugar. So natural sugar, that solves all the problems, right? Because you're not eating that unnatural sugar. Well, I lived on that principle for years, and I recently worked with a colleague that he did nutrition science in college. We were discussing sugar, and he said, you know, way back, not that long ago in history, sugar hadn't been invented. It's completely manufactured. Sugar cane by itself is not as sweet. It's refined down, so it's very sweet. And it's that the idea of having natural sugar is kind of like an oxymoron, you know. It's unnatural to begin with. So he went on to tell me that back, you know, a couple hundred years ago, people would go their whole lives without much of anything sweet, It's a big deal to get something sweet. Generally, the sweetest thing at the time would be honey. Central, okay. We just passed Central. If you're following along, I want to skip over to, I'm going to hang it right. Probably on Oak, but I was hoping a little sooner so I could stay off these busy roads. So, those of you who know the area, the paved neighborhood part is winding from Fair Oaks to Beals Point Marina, and then from there it's trails home. Okay, getting back to sugar. So it must have been pretty amazing when sugar could be refined, could be created, and everybody could have something sweet instead of just a few. But I just didn't see how that affected me. You know, it's whatever. So we create things and we use them. I mean, a lot of things we have in life aren't truly natural and not necessarily bad for you. And I'd even heard reports that pediatricians, that child doctors, saying that sugar helps brain growth. It's high octane power for children, and you don't want to starve their brains of every speck of energy that they can have. Here, I'll turn on Elm. And so they're advocating eating sugar. I don't know what the kids did in the millennia before sugar was invented. Never mind. But still, I just kind of found this information interesting, but didn't really directly apply it. But about the same time, or actually over a period of time, throughout this whole education about sugar, I would work, just about fall asleep in the afternoons, because we always have fresh baked cookies or muffins or something, and well, it was too easy. So I was eating sugar a lot more than I thought. Well, one day I went to the doctor and general blood tests, physical and all, and they said I was really high in blood sugar. I wasn't processing my blood sugars too well. They said, "You're not pre-diabetic." I said, "But you aren't too far away from that, and I need you to come back for another overnight test, full fasting test." I was like, kidding me. And as it turned out, I thought about it. This is not the first time. This is about the second or third time that I'd been told such a thing and had to go back for the test. And when I go back for the full test, they say I'm fine. So I started putting two and two together. I have an active lifestyle, relatively healthy, so I'm not in the high risk group for overeater's disease. But sure enough, I got high blood sugar. So I thought, well, that's easy. I've been hearing all this negative stuff, and then hop on Netflix or something. Won't take long for you to find an anti-sugar documentary. And so I said, what the heck, I'll give it a try. So I decided to cut out all sugar. Now, what I mean by all sugar is it's pretty much like an 80-20 rule. Maybe most weeks it's 90-10, but it's really impossible. Fall off the wagon occasionally, but I don't eat many cookies. I don't eat candy bars. I pass on just about everything that's heavy sugar. I look at labels. I choose the lowest possible sugar alternative. Of course, I eat natural sugars, so fruit. I don't cut fruit out just because it has sugar in it. I'm talking about added sugar. Well, as soon as I did that, I no longer was falling asleep in the afternoon. And I've been generally feeling healthier. And so that was easy. I've stuck with it for a while now, and to be honest, the family's starting to like the idea. All the bakers are now starting to not bake very much, or they're learning how to do baking without sugar. Let's cut through here. So, you know, as far as this tour goes and this hot day, I'm not even sure I know where I am. Pretty sure I'm going east. I'm gonna run into Lake Folsom at some point, but what I don't want to do is burn up. I think I'm gonna kick a left. Here we go. Chestnut. Ooh, shady chestnut. Right. So my setup here is pretty heavy upper body. I got camelback type bladder. I got a chest harness with a camera on it, and then heart rate monitor strap, as you do. I don't even know why I wear that thing. Heart rate pretty much is the same, reading every ride. I mean, if you think about it, I ride a single speed. I don't even have a quick release on my seat post. So, and it's not a dropper post. So, you know, set it, forget it. So I don't know why I have a heart rate monitor. Sometimes I'd like to have a power meter, but and again, this is recreational for me, so what the heck do I need a power meter for? So sugar, yeah. I mean, think about it. Going your whole life, and honey's the sweetest thing, and you might not even get any of that. Fruit back then must have been like the candy of now. You know? Alright, on Oak. Didn't want to be on Oak, but I'm on Oak. Not a big deal. And you can imagine popping a few grapes in your mouth and finding it so sweet. Well, the sweetest. And an orange. I don't mind eating a little bit of sugar when I'm going to go on a big ride. I mean, from what I understand, I generate insulin. I process the sugars. I'm not diabetic, at least not yet. But if I can burn up the sugar in form of energy, that's just a little less work my metabolism has to do to moderate it. And we could go deeper with this. We could say that people who don't process sugars well tend to exercise more. But I'm using a sample size of 1 to come to that conclusion, so you can just never mind that bit. All right, Mountain Ave. Feels like I'm climbing a mountain. Must have been named back when people rode bikes around here. It's not really a mountain. Oh, stage. Moving on. So on this single speed, I generally average 11 to 12 miles an hour. I'm probably at the top end of that now. I don't have a computer, so other than my phone. But I think never mind. I think the heat's getting to me. It's water time. Hello. All right, I'm gonna go left. All right. Oh, that was a stinky truck. That didn't help. So I got a lot of topic ideas. I'm working on a format. Hope it's nice and mellow. I don't want to overcook these videos. One of my main goals is kind of like a scrapbooking goal. Journal a bit. And maybe I'll be something to show at my funeral. Not to be morbid. Maybe to share with my grandkids while I'm still awake. Probably still riding, actually. I wonder if I'll still be blogging. I wonder if it'll be a self-driving bicycle. God. I'm pretty sure that won't be a topic I talk about. But sugar is fascinating. Go look at the things like I used to eat Raisin Bran. I used to say, wow, I'm eating bran, high fiber. This is so good for me. And then I looked at the ingredients. Oh no, what's going on here? I've never been here before. Can I get through this way? Fascinating. Yeah, this